What's good, y'all boys, man? It's your boy Stretch. First off, I'd like to give a huge shout out to the people I learned retouching from. One of them is Prince Mason, and his retouching literally saved my life. My whole entire retouching model is based upon his. Learn how to do it from him, and literally if you guys want to learn from somebody else that has more skin in the game, for real, just go ahead and head over to his page, man. Another guy that also taught me retouching as well, Guy X Photo, man. Phenomenal photographer as well, man. Y'all go check him out. I really appreciate y'all boys. Y'all already know I show y'all the way that I shoot all the time, but I don't be showing y'all how I edit. Well, I actually teach y'all how to edit pretty much every week inside the Patreon, but a lot of y'all aren't in there. I'm about to be retouching these two photos right here. When it comes to the way I retouch and a lot of other things that I do, I don't like to do too much. I go by the saying, keep it simple, stupid a lot. And y'all are gonna see that the more you look into this channel. The tools that I'm gonna be using to retouch this photo is my SLV retouching pad. And it's literally what I've been using to retouch almost all of my photos. The first thing you wanna do before you even think about sitting down and retouching is making sure that you shoot the image right. The better you shoot the image, the less work you have to do in editing, which is a very important thing. I used to stay up until 6 a.m. editing photos only because I wasn't shooting them in camera right. The makeup artist was on point. She brushes her teeth. The hair was hitting, you feel me? Everything was just nice. I retouch using the Wacom tablet. It's made my life so much easier when it comes to retouching, man. All of this gear is linked in the caption as well. So if y'all want to purchase any of this gear, just go ahead and open up the caption and boom, it's right there in front of you. So first thing I'm going to do when it comes to retouching, I'm going to zoom all the way into the photo. I want to see what's there, what's not there, what I need to fix, what I don't need to fix, this, that, and the third, you feel me? And the first thing that I see on this photo that really stands out is just the stray hairs. We got to get rid of that. But first, we're going to go ahead and create a new layer. I'm going to hit Command J and boom, got a new layer. So now I'm going to take my clone stamp tool and I'm literally just going to press Option on a space in the picture that doesn't have anything on it, just the backdrop. Boom. And I'm literally just going to draw over those stray hairs. Now, when it comes to the brush size, it's all up to you and how fine you're getting it and all this and that. But for the hardness, I like to keep it anywhere between like 25% to 50% because I want a little bit of softness, but a little bit of roughness as well, you know. All throughout the whole entire, whole entire hair sequence. And if you guys mess up, don't be afraid to hit Command Z so you can undo what you just did and then redo it, you know. Yeah, I like it crowded. Whoa. Whoa. So now we're gonna look at it before and after. Before, after, before, after. That looks so much better in my opinion compared to, all those stray hairs. And now we're gonna do the same exact thing for the opposite side. And now I'm gonna zoom out a little bit and this is what we got. Here's the before, here's the after. Before, after. We got rid of all those stray hairs, so now we're good to start touching on the skin. Saying, don't be afraid to, get a little closer to your screen, all this, and then the third, you know what I'm saying? Nothing wrong with it. We got to be able to knock all these blemishes out. There's 3 tools that you can really use inside of my pack to knock out everything. Basic frequency separation, the advanced frequency separation, and the skin smoothing. Me personally, I like using the skin smoothing. First thing I'm gonna do is just go to my high layer. The high layer is for blemishes. It's for everything like, bumps, pimples, stray hairs, all that. It's to get rid of all of that stuff. And all I'm gonna do is literally do the same exact thing I did for the stray hairs, but just for the skin. I'm gonna take a part of the skin by pressing Option. I'm gonna take a part of the skin that doesn't have a blemish on it, and I'm literally just gonna draw over the blemish. And as you can see, it's literally getting rid of all of that. Real simple, real easy, man. Nothing crazy to it. It's just a little tedious the more, pimples and all this and that people be having, but it is what it is and ain't what it ain't. Everybody's not blessed with, perfectly amazing skin, and it is what it is. So I'm just gonna literally go throughout the whole entire photo and get rid of all the big pimples and all this and that you guys can see. Now, all I did just now is just worked on the forehead, so let's see a little before and after. Here's the before, and now here's the after. Before, after. As you can see, all those pimples, blemishes, they're pretty much gone. Of course, there's still more there that I have to do, but, I'm just going to be going around the whole photo and doing that. I'm going to be doing the same thing to the hairs, too. As you can see, there's little hairs in the middle. She has some hair coming on the side of her face, right up in here, eyebrow, too. I'm going to be doing this exact same method on all of that. So let me just go ahead and get this up out the way. And remember, guys, don't be afraid to change your brush sizes over and over. The way I quickly do this, I like the whole controlling option. I can literally just drag and make it bigger or smaller as I'm going, because some of these don't require like a huge brush. They need like a finer brush here and there. So yeah, I'm literally going to keep picking my pen up every time. Don't forget this, guys. This is a crucial thing, man. You don't want to just drag your pen across somebody's skin. You want to keep nice, nice slow taps here and there. You feel me? No diddy. All right, that looks pretty good to me so far. I ain't gonna lie to y'all boys, man. So check it out. We pretty much got rid of a lot of things, man. So here's a before and here's a after. Before, after, before, after. Now there is something that I missed over in here, man. So yeah, don't be afraid to just keep going back, guys, because at the end of the day, we're all human, man. There's a lot of things that we're probably gonna see during, these retouching processes when, we're doing this that we forget to do. That's why you always need to go back out. You need to like zoom out, really look at the photos, see where you're missing spots, see where you forgot something, this, that, and the third, and you need to go in at it. Now this spot right up in here, this blemish was a little too defined for me to get rid of it really, but for the high layer, yes. For the low layer, we can do it though. All right, boom. So that's pretty good for the high layer. I'm not gonna lie to you. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take the low layer and I'm gonna go to my mixer brush. What I'm gonna do with the mixer brush is pretty much blend the highlights and blend the shadows. It's also gonna create a smoother image too. So you gotta be careful when you're using it. Me personally, I like to use pen pressure because sometimes, too much is too much. You feel me? Less is more when it comes to retouching. I say this all the time. Even if you wanted to just give them a photo like this with the blemishes removed, you know what I'm saying? You could do that. You feel me? It's all up to you and what you want to give to your client. There's no set in stone way on how you should do this, guys, and y'all have to remember that, man. Everybody's different. So I'm gonna take my low layer, get my mixer brush tool. I'm gonna do the same exact thing as I did with the high layer, except all I'm gonna be doing is just blending the highlights and the shadows to make everything even, because as you can see right now, there's a lot of unevenness going on. Yes, the photo still looks amazing. It looks nice. There's nothing wrong with it at all, but we can make it a little bit better, you feel me? So what I mean by blending is, check it out. Right up in here in this corner, you see it's kind of darker and it's kind of lighter in a bunch of different spots. I'm gonna seamlessly try to blend that in the middle to where it's like a nice fall off. That's what it's all about. It's about that fall off, man. You want that fall off to be very gradual. You don't want it to be just sharp, So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make my brush a little bigger and I'm literally just gonna color here and there to kind of like, get in the middle of that. That way everything looks real smooth, real clean, and it doesn't look too crazy. The fall off is perfect, you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm going for, a perfect fall off. So all I did was this little corner piece right up in here. So let's see what it does. Before, after, before, after. That's pretty smooth in my opinion. I want the highlights to be a little bit longer, so I'm literally just moving the highlights over a little bit. And I'm gonna do the same exact thing for the opposite side of her forehead. So right up in here, I'm gonna make the highlights really stand out a little bit more than the shadows, because I only want the shadows to stand out in the corners of her head, not really the too much of the middle, So I'm literally just blending things. Like that's honestly it. I'm just blending things together. Nothing crazy. Same with the middle of her face. You see this? You see how it's moving a lot? Yes, this is what we want. We want all of this to be an even fall off. So boom, now we're gonna look at the before and after of the forehead. Let's do it. Here's the before, here's the after. Before, after. Looks so much better in my opinion. And we're literally just gonna do that for the whole entire image, man. We're just gonna be blending the shadows and we're just gonna be blending the highlights. So I'm literally gonna take this cheek right here and do the same thing. I'm gonna be making the highlights stand out a little bit more while, making the shadows also stand out where they should stand out. And guys, don't be afraid, in the beginning, don't let yourself down or anything like that because you're not really getting it, because trust me, when I first started doing this, man, I was so frustrated, bro. The only way I really got better was just putting in the reps, bro. Like doing it, looking at other photographers' work, seeing where skin tones needed to be, seeing where highlights needed to be, shadows, all this and that. It all came from experience. It didn't come from me just, sitting here looking at a screen. It came from me actually going out there, taking the photos, making the highlights pop better, making the shadows pop better, being more intentional with my photos. It made me realize exactly where things need to be at. And so now I'm able to actually just, retouch an image, see where the shadows and highlights hit, and know exactly how I need to structure things, And don't forget, guys, everybody's photography is different, so don't think, you feel me, just because this guy's is like this means yours need to be like that too. But there is a certain structure that you need to follow when it comes to, like, what I'm saying? So all I'm literally doing is just making these highlights stand out a little bit better and making these shadows stand out a little bit better too, while creating an even fall off between both of them. This, I like to make my brush size a little bit bigger when it comes to it because it's easier for me to make that fall off. It's easier to blend things with a bigger brush, in my opinion, depending on which spot of the face I'm working with. So this is what I meant when I said this big pimple that was in the way on her cheek, we can get rid of it with the low layer. Well, this is what we can do. So we're gonna take the low layer brush, right? And we're literally just gonna draw right over it and it should smooth it out. As you can see exactly what it just did. It smoothed everything out and you can't even see it anymore. That's why I say you go in with the high layer first to remove the initial blemish and then you just go over it with the low layer to really, like, smooth and even things out. Smoothing and evening, making the fall offs look nice, making things look very, very clean. And boom, that's what we get, man. Let me show y'all a little before and after right quick. So we got a before and we got an after. Before, after. And that's what we're getting so far. Now there is a little spot I could go back and do, as you can see right here. Great example. I'm gonna take my pen, I'm gonna draw over this real quick so you guys can see this. So this area right up in here, as you can see, I'm gonna zoom all the way in. Right here, there's a little bit of highlight compared to the shadow. So what I wanna do is make that a full shadow. So all I'm gonna do literally is take my low layer, and I'm literally just gonna take from the shadow side and draw up and down as well. Because I want it all to be even. I want it all to look even. I don't want no light spilling out anywhere where it shouldn't be spilling out. And that should be way better. And it is. As you can see, before, after. Before, after. Way better in my opinion. So you don't really need to do anything body-wise into this photo because everything, you know, is really just face. And like I always say, man, I want to keep it simple because less is more. The longer you stare at a photo, the more you're going to see wrong with it, bro. Sometimes the things that you're looking at and you're thinking are problems aren't even really problems. You're just overthinking things and you're doing too much at this point. I've been there. I've done that plenty of time, guys. Don't take too long looking at something and, you know what I'm saying, change your mind on it. So her teeth are pretty white already. You know, I kind of want to keep that realism into it. But if I wanted to, I could just go to the eyes and teeth whitening action. And I could just, you know what I'm saying, color over her teeth, make them whiter. Same thing with the eyes. So another thing that I can show you guys is dodge and burn as well. Now, I only really dodge and burn when it comes to headshot photos. I don't really dodge and burn when it comes to like regular photos because I feel like it's not needed sometimes. You know, dodge and burn really enhances a photo a lot. It makes them pop out because all you're going to be doing with dodge and burn is upping the highlights and upping the shadows. So let me show you guys right now. For this particular photo, I'm going to be going to my global dodge and burn. And I'm going to be going to my burn layer. The burn layer is for the shadows. That's why it's called burn, because we're making things darker. Dodge layer is for the highlights. Don't know why it's called dodge, but it's called dodge. And all I'm literally going to do is take my brush tool. I'm going to change my flow to about, I want to say at least like 2%. You don't need a lot of flow for this, man, I promise, because it's going to make a huge difference the more you do it. And for this one, you're literally just going to be coloring. Make sure your regular brush is on white, and all you're going to do is just draw over the highlights. Very, very visible highlights on this photo, so it's not hard to see them at all. And all I'm going to do on them is just draw on them, and that's it. I'm going to be going for the cheek. I'm going to be going for these sides of the bottom of her mouth right here. Highlight those up a little bit more. Same for this cheek. And yeah, same for the middle of the nose. Same for this little slit in her eyes right here, you know, nothing crazy, some simple, some slight. And I'm going to show you guys the before and after with just the dodge done. Before, after, before, after. She's standing out way more compared to what she was without the dodge. So now we're going to do the burn. Now you're really going to see a difference when it comes to the burn. I'm going to do the same exact thing I did for the highlights, but I'm just going to do it for the shadows. Same exact thing. Now, usually I'll be zoomed all in when it comes to a photo like this, man, but for time's sake, I'm not really finna zoom in and try to like make this as perfect as possible because, of course, you know, I've already done this photo. This is an old photo from last semester that I shot of a grad. And yeah, I'm just gonna be going to all the shadow areas and I'm just gonna be coloring over them same way as before. Nothing crazy, real simple, real simple. And the reason why I like dodge and burn a lot, man, is because it just makes things pop. You know, I don't use it as often as I used to. I used to do it a lot, but I figured out, you know, with a good frequency separation, you can literally do the same exact thing. But, you know, this just makes it a little easier, just having the layer itself. So now let me show you guys the before and after with the dodge and burn done as well. It's a personal preference thing. Some people like it, some people don't. Me personally, I feel like it looks very great depending on how you want to make your photo look. Now, she's standing out a whole lot, and it almost looks as if AI edited this. It's crazy, right? And if you guys wanted to get like smaller details with the dodge and burn, all you need to do is just go to the micro dodge and burn and go to wherever you need to do and just repeat the steps again. The only place I would do this in really is just like the lips, maybe the eyes, the eyebrows, you know what I'm saying? Make them a little darker, this, that, and the third. But in my opinion, this photo doesn't even need that for real, you know? So now the next thing I would do in this photo is really just clean the backdrop. So I'm going to be showing you guys how to do that. I'm going to take everything that I just did, my layer 1, my skin smoothing, my global dodge and burn. I'm just going to create a whole nother layer of that. So what I'm going to be doing is hitting Command, Option, Shift, and I'm going to hit E. That's going to take everything, put it together, and put it all in one layer. So now I'm going to go ahead and go up to my Select Subject tool, hit Select Subject, let it work its magic, and that's a pretty good subject selection. If not, you guys just go ahead and, you know, draw around and do what you need to do in order to make it good. And then all I'm literally going to do is just hit Command J. That's going to give me a new layer with the new image. And after it gives me that new layer, I'm going to go to the photo. I'm going to hit Control and click, and I'm just going to hit Select Pixels. And now I'm going to invert it, select the inverse, and then I'm going to go down to the layer that I did before and hit Command J again. Now I have the background. Let me show you guys. Now I have the background separated and the person separated, as you can see. So now all I'm going to be doing is going to that background layer. I'm going to be going to the wrinkle and floor action. It gets rid of wrinkles on the clothes and it gets rid of dirt on the floor and all this and that, floor being the backdrop. And I'm going to take the brush tool. I'm going to take my flow and put it all the way up to like a good 100 pretty much. I'm literally just going to draw over all the little spots that are on the backdrop. Now these spots are coming from my sensor being dirty. So don't forget to clean y'all's camera sensors, bro. It matters 100%. So yeah, now we have a very clean image, you feel me? As you can see, I'm going to be doing a whole complete before and after now. I'm going to be turning off all the layers. All right, so now I'm going to show you guys a complete before and after. This is the before, and now this is the after. Everything is nice and clean, you feel me? More polished, more neat, you know what I'm saying? It's all personal preference at the end of the day, you know? Some people like stuff like this, some people don't. You don't have to do it. You know what I'm saying? It's all up to you at the end of the day and how you want to operate your business. But this is the things that I do in my business. So now that that photo is done, man, that's all I'm going to do. I'm going to be showing you guys how I retouch an outside photo. It's pretty much the same exact concept. It's just a little bit quicker. All I'm really going to be touching in this photo is just the blemishes and the colors, honestly. So let me show you guys how I do that. Same exact thing, I'm going to create another layer. I'm going to zoom all the way in, see what's going on. She has a lot of frizzy hair and whatnot. Shout out to Olivia, man, my bad dog, for using you as a model for this. We got to do what we got to do. You know what I'm saying? I'm literally just going to use option, take a spot that's right beside the hair, and then I'm just going to color right over it with the area that I took from. Now, I kind of like my photos to look somewhat natural, you feel me? So I'm not going to get rid of every little stray hair in here. So I want it all to be an even level of stray hair. I don't want it all just to be straight hair, you know? All right, so now that I have that even amount of stray hair that I like, as you guys can see, there is like little ripples here and there around the head. What I'm going to be doing is just taking my mixer brush, and I'm literally just going to be doing the same thing as I did on that low layer. I'm just going to blend the background to make everything look seamless and easy so you don't see those little, like, you know, marks from where I took from and all this and that, you know? All right, so here's the before, and now here's the after. Before, after. All those stray hairs are gone, and all we did was use the clone stamp and the mixer brush. So now what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be taking my skin smoothing action again, going to that high layer, and I'm going to be getting rid of all the blemishes on her face. Like I said, I shot this from far away, so you can't even really see any blemishes. Now she has her body in this one too, so I'm going to be doing the body too as well, but as y'all can see, there's not a lot going on at all, you know. These are honestly like marks that are meant to be on her body, but you guys, when you know what I'm saying, if you want to get rid of it, get rid of it. If not, don't, you feel me? So yeah, like I said, guys, there's not a lot to do to this photo at all because I shoot far away for a reason. Now I'm going to be going to my low layer, same exact thing. I'm just going to be meshing the highlights and the shadows. Remember, guys, pick your pen up every time, man. Don't just sit here and just draw for continuous amounts of time. Pick your pen up every stroke if you can. No diddy. And boom, now we're going to be looking at the before and after. Here's the before, here's the after. The before, the after. As you can see, I made those shadows actually look like where they needed to be at, you feel me? Because before, as you can see, there's not a lot of shadow going on right up in here. And of course, you feel me, I feel like there should be some shadow on that jaw. So I went ahead and just added it myself with the frequency. And this is why I say you don't really need dodge and burn. You can move these shadows, these highlights, put them where you want, add them somewhere, this, that, and the third. You know, you don't need dodge and burn. So yeah, that's pretty good for this photo, man. That's literally, honestly, all I would do to a photo retouching wise. But now what I need to do is mess with the colors because I want this green to pop a little bit more in the background, and I also want her colors to pop out too. So now that I'm done with my skin smoothing action, all I'm going to be doing is just making another layer. And there's little things here and there in the photo too that I need to get rid of, which is that's this little light stand right up in here. So I'm going to be doing that. And all I'm going to be doing for that is generative fill. Generative fill does a great job for everything. Thank God that they added this because, man, whew, they made my life so much easier using this. And now all I'm going to be doing is using my SLV color booster. This literally is what it says, color booster. It's just boosting the colors, literally, that's it. So as y'all can see, this is what it did off rip. But the way I like to use it, right, I like to take the opacity down to about 50% or whatever you guys, you know what I'm saying, it's personal preference type of thing, whatever you guys feel like you guys want to do with it. I like to take it, I like to go to the layer itself, and I'm going to take my brush, I'm going to change it to black. I'm going to take the flow, bring it down to like a good 25. I always do half of whatever I opacicize it as. So if I do opacity 50, I'm going to be doing 25 with my flow on the brush. Or at least until I get the skin color looking like how I want the skin color to look. Because that's all I'm going to be touching on this is the skin color. Because as you can see, the color booster enhances everything. And it made her skin look a little red, a little pink. And we don't want to look too red and pink compared to everything else. So now I'm literally just going to draw over the face with the black. Same with the body. And that should honestly do what it needs to do. Same with the hand. Don't want the hand to look too pink. And now we're good to go. So boom, that's what we got. And now that I'm done coloring everything out, I can literally like up the opacity a little bit more to color everything some more if I wanted to. So I'm gonna be doing probably like a smooth 75% on that. And now I'm just gonna create a whole new layer from everything. I'm gonna take all of this, turn it off so you guys can see. And now here's a before, and now here's a after. Before, after. Not much even done to the photo. Very simple, very slight changes. Nothing crazy, guys. I always say every time, man, keep it simple, stupid. This is my favorite saying in the world, bro. Less is more, man. Come on. We got 2 beautifully retouched images. As y'all seen, we just went over that, man. Hopefully y'all see my workflow, man. I host a retouching Zoom every Sunday inside of my Patreon. If y'all want to join it, hit the link in the caption, click that, and we're good to go, man. You could also schedule one-on-ones whenever you would like. If you want to learn more about this and get some one-on-one time, all this and that as well inside of the Patreon too. If you guys want to cop the retouching pack, man, it's in the caption as well. And if y'all have any other questions, bro, please don't be afraid to ask me, man. I'm here to help y'all boys. I'm here to give y'all, like, you know, the inside of my life, the way I do things, how I do things, why I do things, you feel me? So yeah, shout out to y'all for watching, man. And also shout out to y'all for giving me the idea to make this video for y'all, man. And yeah, I'm gonna catch y'all on the next one, yo. Peace.
Tesla, now she gonna let you. Okay, alright, that's fine.